Hello, my friend. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the end-to-end music distribution process for getting your songs onto Spotify and other streaming sites. We're actually going to start all the way from the beginning, where we're going to organize your music and audio files so that they're all ready for your release. We're also going to break down the mastering of your track to make sure that it is streaming ready. And then lastly, we're going to put that all together and actually go through the distribution process. In this video, we're going to be using DistroKid to get your music up there. By following along with this video, you're going to be able to streamline your music release process, saving you time and a little sanity. You're also going to make sure that your songs are mastered correctly so that they sound good on all systems when streamed on Spotify and other streaming platforms. You're going to learn how to fully navigate the distribution process so that you get every step right and don't have to worry about contacting support because some mistakes happened along the way. In this video, we'll be focusing on step 1 of the 7-step Spotify release checklist, which is to actually get your song submitted to music distributors. This is a very simple checklist that I've used release after release after release to get over 6.5 million streams on Spotify to date. And if you'd like to try it out for yourself, there is a free download in the description below where you can get access to the 7-step Spotify release checklist for yourself. So with that out of the way, let's jump into this.
All right, so the very first step that I'm going to complete when getting a song ready to distribute onto Spotify and all the streaming services is I will get the folder structure set up. So I have a dedicated music releases folder set up where I have a folder for each one of my individual releases. And I also have this little template folder. So what I would do is right click on that, and I am going to duplicate this over. And then once it's duplicated, I'm going to right click on it, rename it, and change it to the name of the song. This one that we're releasing is Sandus the Bestin, or however you spell this, or say it out loud. We'll go ahead and create that. And then once we see in here, we have a folder where we can put all of the assets for ads, video ads, and that kind of stuff. We can put the artwork in here, any additional assets that might be needed, the audio files, and any image or video files for social posts. So anytime I need to do any kind of promotion or any kind of distribution stuff with this song, all of the assets that I need are going to be all in one place. So one of the first ones that we're going to get set up with getting prepared is the audio. So I'm going to bring Ableton into view over here, and we have our tune right here. So it's pretty much set up to go. I think the song is sounding pretty good. And what I'm going to do is just do a final check to make sure that the mastering is set up correctly. So what I'll do is just grab one of the most intense areas of the song, and I'm going to loop that area. And what I'm going to simply do is start playing it back from there. Over on the master side, I have a chain setup where there's a little bit of compression happening. I'm using something called Oxford Inflator, which is kind of a saturation plugin. And then the Pro L2 is the limiter that I'm using. And so what I'm going to be doing very, very quickly is just playing it back. What I'm looking for is we have LUFS set up on integrated. So we're looking for about negative 14 LUFS to be showing up here on the integrated mode with the out set to -1 dB. And I'm going to be hoping to get about between -2 and -3 decibels of gain reduction. If you can keep it in that area, then you'll be able to have a cleaner mix. Anything, if you're pushing it too high and you're getting a lot of gain reduction, you'll start kind of squishing and squashing the mix and maybe making it sound all clipped and poo-poo sounding. So those are the general kind of parameters that I like to run by. So we'll go ahead and listen through this right now. Okay, I think that's honestly good enough. So what we can see here is that it's hitting about -13 LUFS, which I think is okay. There's a bunch of quiet parts in the song that should bring that a little bit further back up to 14. We're getting almost no gain reduction, which is good. So it's pretty clean. For this, we're ready to go for Spotify. So I just want to kind of set up the start and end points. I'll click this to make sure that it's selected. We're going to go File, Export Audio. And for this, I'm going to set up the WAV file. I want to have a WAV file that I'm actually going to submit. I'm also going to submit and have an MP3 just because it can be useful to have. So I'll go ahead and press the export button, and then we're going to go over to my music releases folder. We're going to find that new folder we created. We're going to go into the audio area. And so originally this one was called Don't Cry. So we're going to change that name to Sandus the Bestin. We'll go like this. Get it set up properly. And then in brackets, I like to put Stream Master. But we'll go ahead and press save. And this is now going to start exporting. And it's useful to have a stream master and like a normal one. So instead of going for -14 LUFS, you can go a lot further and make it a lot louder, maybe like -7 to -9 if possible. And that's a lot better for club tracks. I don't know if this song is going to pass the vibe check in a club necessarily. So I'm going to skip that step for now and focus on Spotify releases. So with the song now exporting and going to be ready to go, what we're going to do next is get the artwork prep. So I'm going to open up Canva, and I do have a video going through how I did this as well. So I'll link it above if I can. But essentially, I have the artwork set up. It's at 3000 by 3000 pixels. So it's at the dimensions that's needed. So what I'm going to do is go up to the top right, press share, then go over to the download button. And I'm going to change this to JPEG. And from selected pages, I only want to get the page 2 because I had a bunch of different variations set up. Page 2 is the one that I want to actually use. So JPEG 3000 by 3000, those are the dimensions you'll need to submit properly to Spotify if you don't want to get any issues with like blurry or anything like that, or low quality images that could stop your release from going out at the right time. So we'll go ahead and press download, wait for this to get going. And now what we're going to do again is we're going to head over to our music releases folder, go into the actual song. We'll head over to the artwork area and we'll just type in the name of the song. Artwork. And we'll go ahead and press save. Boom. So now if we go back over to our folder, we have the artwork here, easily accessible when we're about to do the distribution process. We go over to audio, it's probably still exporting over in Ableton. Let's see how much longer we have. 29%. There's a bit of time. So while that's exporting, what I'm going to do is head over to DistroKid, which is my distributor of choice, at least for now. So over once you're on DistroKid, or this will be pretty similar, whichever one you're using. But for DistroKid, you go over to upload. You want to press upload music. And from here, services, I'm going to turn on Snapchat because I do own 100% of the publishing. It's a single. Has it been released previously? No. So the last release I did it as a collab. So it's showing up as like my name and I'm going to go up to the top and just select my own. Cool that DistroKid now has it. So it'll remember the previous one. So boom, my old one set up. My artist is already in Spotify. It's connected it already. It's found it on Apple Music. It's found it on YouTube Music. It's found it on Instagram. It's found it on Facebook. That's all great. So now for the release date, what I am going to do next is I am going to head over to this little Notion live song planner that I've set up. So I have all the songs that I'm going to be tentatively releasing for the next like 6 to 12 months. So this one here is the Finalizing one. It used to be called Don't Cry. It's at 80% checkpoint. It's now at 100%. So the song's done and mixed and mastered. And I have this set for a release date of October 27th. So with that in mind, I'm going to head back over to DistroKid and punch in the 27th. We have this set up for October 27th, 2023. Perfect. Release time, 12 a.m. is fine. Synchronization, I usually like to do in New York. If I am running ads for the release, which I don't know if I'm going to do for this one, it's nice to have it so the ads are running at the exact same time that all of the releases go live. So you're not running ads and someone clicks it and they can't actually hear the song. So that's something I like to do. Pre-order, I don't care. Record label, we'll change this. Best Friends Club, doesn't matter. Language, English. Primary genre for me, this is going to be electronic with a subgenre of deep house, which should be there. And then the secondary genre, which is optional, but I usually like to put dance. Okay, cool. So now we're going to upload the album cover. So we can see here that it's 3000 pixels by 3000 pixels, a square JPEG format, which is exactly how we set it up before. So now when we need to upload the album cover, we just go select an image. We go over to our music releases folder. We go into artwork and it's there perfectly ready for us. We don't have to do any sorting around. Boom, it's loaded in perfectly. Then we're going to type in the song name, Sandistaven. Boom. I'm going to double check over here that I'm spelling that correctly. It looks like I am. So then we'll just head down. Are there any featured artists? No. Is this a version? No, no, no. Cool. I love that DistroKid lets you see how it's going to look. This looks awesome. I'm excited. And I like that it shows you the artwork in a small format too, so you can see what it's going to look like. So next we're going to have to upload the audio file. So let's go over to Ableton and see where we're at. So we're still at 70%. So let's go ahead and see if we can check anything else out while it's exporting. So we got Dolby Atmos. No, I wrote this song. So we're going to go ahead and put My name as the songwriter, I usually like to keep it consistent. So if you want to make fun of me, my middle name is Joseph. Actually, fun fact, my name is Joseph because my grandfather, his name was Giuseppe, and my dad wanted to call me Giuseppe. And then as a, I guess like a figuring out like a middle ground thing, I ended up being called Joseph as a middle name. I'm kind of glad for my mom for doing that. I prefer Matthew over Giuseppe, personally. Explicit lyrics, no. Is this a radio edit? No. Is this an instrumental? It kind of contains lyrics, so I'm going to leave that on there. Preview, let's streaming clip, streaming service size, who cares? Track price, who cares? All of this, absolutely not. Ignore all of this. This is what you're looking for here. You want the total to be 0 every single time when you're using DistroKid. There's a lot of this stuff here. It could be useful. I would say absolutely ignore it. Important checkbox. We'll get this out of the way now. I selected YouTube as a store. So it will do one of those kind of cover art images and just upload it to YouTube. If you choose YouTube Music, so you have to say yes. Snapchat, you want to make sure that you have publishing rights. So that means basically you wrote the song yourself. So that's for Snapchat. I recorded it myself and I'm authorized to sell in stores. Yes. I'm not using any artist name or song titles. No, I'm not. And I've read the agreements, which I did a while ago. And you should probably too, just to be safe. So now the last thing that we're going to need to do is upload this audio and we will be good to go. So let's just go head over to Ableton and we'll just wait a moment for it to finish. Okay, cool. So now that it has finished exporting, we're going to head back over to DistroKid. And what I would recommend is that over in the Finder or wherever you are, go ahead and listen to your song. Actually, like if you're whether you're exporting out your masters yourself or you're getting somebody else to do it, it would definitely be a good idea to go ahead and just press play on this and listen through all the way to make sure that it sounds good. So that's something I'm going to do offline. So you don't have to listen to the full song. If you want to listen to the full song, it's coming out October 27th. But for the purpose of this tutorial, what you would do once you have your audio file listened to and you know it's sounding great, is you're going to want to go over to upload your audio file, select an audio file type, and then you're going to go to music releases, go again into your music release folder. Again, this is why it's so nice because everything's all fine and dandy in one area. Go to audio. I'm going to choose the WAV version and we're going to press up. Boom. So now the selected audio file has been uploaded. And then we're just going to scroll down to the bottom. You now have the ability to press done. So we'll just do one last look through at the top. So we've selected everything in the services. It's not been previously released. Artist name is set up correctly. That's one of the main things. The release date is October 27th. That's set up correctly. Then just double check. We go to calendar. Oh, I want to see October 27th is a Friday. That's perfect. We head back to DistroKid. Release time 12 a.m. We have it set for New York. Doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. Double check the genre. It could matter. Album looks great. Track name looks great. All this looks good. We have the stream master.wave. Looks perfect. Etc. Etc. Songwriter name is set up nicely. Just doing a quick double check of everything, making sure that we are not getting billed for anything extra. And last but not least, then you press done. It's going to verify the album artwork. It is then going to verify the track, which can take a little bit longer. And then simply once this is done uploading, you'll go ahead and press the button here to finally submit your song over. What will happen then is you'll get a bunch of emails from DistroKid letting you know that it's been submitted correctly, or if something bad happened, you'll get an email letting you know that you need to check on stuff. And then it really is as simple as that. I think that took maybe less than 15 minutes to get everything submitted quickly, especially when you have all the assets correctly ready to go all in one folder. It really doesn't take a long time. So I guess we might as well wait 2 more seconds for it to be finished so you see what it looks like. Please wait a moment. It's going to do some checking, etc., etc., etc. And boom, it actually now just sends the release out. So done. That was easy, wasn't it? Your release date's cutting it close. It's almost always going to say this unless you do it quite well in advance. In terms of releasing, that's basically all you need to know. Don't worry about any of this other stuff. You have your song ready to go. And then jumping back to the release planner that I use just to keep everything nice and organized. What we're going to want to do is we'll go into this tune that we have here. It is set up in the to release area. And then what we'll do is we'll add a little icon. We'll just do a little check mark, close that off. And we're going to move it from the 80% mark all the way over to the finished area. We know this one's done and it's all out of the way. Boom.
Hello again, my friend. Hopefully you found that video useful. If you'd like to follow along yourself with the 7-step Spotify release checklist, there will be a link to that in the description below where you can get access to that completely for free. Again, this is the checklist that I've used release after release to get over 6.5 million streams to date. It really just streamlines everything and makes sure that I'm only focusing on the tasks that are actually going to move the needle. With that said, again, there will be a link to that in the description below. And if you did find this video useful, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But really the best thing I can do for you is hook you up with that free checklist. So with that said, I'll see you in the next video, my friend. Have a good one.